Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of A Chapter a Day Keeps the Doctor Away. My name is Alan, otherwise known as Hisui, and I'm from ReverseThieves.com as well as the Speakeasy Podcast. And this time I'm looking at UQ Holder, Chapter 23, Tota vs. Kaito. And so his werewolf kind of somewhat mentor has finally revealed himself, and they rush at each other and do the classic, cross counter where they punch each other in the face at the same time and fly back. And Kaito's like, this is going to be a good time. And so they trade some blows, and he's impressed that how quickly Tota has really taught, picked up what he taught and at least been on par with his fighting. Every time, Kaito thinks he's got the drop on him, Tota just moves in time to counter or maybe even land in a nice, not decisive, but definitely hurt-filled blow. And Karen's like, all right, Kamaro, get out of here and go get some help and, save the rest of the town. And so, well, that's going on. The blind assassin, is like, hey, we're doing a lot of good exposition here, but I guess we should fight. Miss Karen? And she's like, hey, I also know who you are. And she says who he is, and no one really cares. And there's no real explanation. It's just, obviously, she's one of those people who knows people by their sword style, so she knows who this guy is and what school he's from. And I'm sure when they start to fight, she'll go into, what his technique is and all that. But for now, we just know that, they see each other as the opponents, and they obviously know who the other one is. And Kuromaru's like, all right, can't use our cell phones, can't use telepathy. My only thing is to use my sword style to make fireworks and basically set off some flares to let other people know at UQ Holder that we need some help putting out the fires here. And Kaito's like, you guys have done well, but we're pretty much almost done here doing what we need to. We just got to beat your asses and, do some cleanup and we're done. So, hey, you're really good, kid. I mean, I thought you were good, but seeing this, you could definitely not just be my student, you could definitely be one of the team. You've got the power. Stick with me, kid, and we can rise to the top. This isn't just like, I like fighting you, I think I like you overall. And Toto's like, no way, you guys are jerks. And so he's like, all right, that's the way it's going to be. You see, I've been doing some good, flash step, but boom! I could go faster than the speed of sound. And it just becomes this, unseeable light. And before, when Tota could, was keeping up with him and just blocking a time, totally can't. And he's like, you're good. And, regular ceiling just ain't gonna work. So it doesn't matter how cool an immortal is. If I got your heart, kind of like I got your nose, I got your heart, I could totally win this fight and seal you and maybe, either totally destroy you or at least keep you on ice for a while, maybe negotiate with you later. And it seems like the fight's in the bag, but the blind swordsman is like, whoa, whoa, whoa! Don't be so cocky there. I think he's got another trick up his sleeve. And we see that, the darkness in his hands is growing out and looking to envelop old Kaito here. So there's still a few tricks up his sleeve. But I gotta say, when somebody's just able to rip out your heart and you're still able to go, I kind of have to wonder, where are you going to go from here with fights, Ken Nakamatsu? Because that's pretty definitive. And so I'm not sure how everybody else is supposed to fight, and be anywhere near as impressive. So I hope he didn't write himself into a corner here of, you know, I mean, this is a series all about crazy immortals, so I guess you kind of have to go at 11 all the time, but I feel like the standard shonen power creep, this is at least, 5 or 6 iterations in, and this is really mainly like fight number 2. So, kind of curious where they're going to go from here. I mean, this fight, I don't wonder too much about. I can see kind of how it's going to play out. But, man, how are they going to basically go, yeah, you thought that guy was tough, and the next guy even be tougher without, like, I disintegrate whole parts of your body, or I'm super magic user. I'm just curious how they're going to go up from here. I guess other immortal opponents, because right now they're just facing mortal guys. So I guess basically from here on in, it's going to be other immortals. Although that actually could lead to some interesting fights of like them trying to figure out how to counter other people's immortality. I guess that's going to be the next fight, but we'll see. Um, Once again, I really feel bad that Kuromaru has basically been, demoted to babysitter of the kid with the pot on his hands and go get help. I really had hoped for a little more ass kicking here, but we'll see what happens. I mean, once again, Karen's definitely going to have a fight with this blind swordsman. It's definitely going to be cool. I had hoped that the 3 of them could have shown as opposed to just 2 of them. But we'll see what happens next week in 24. See you guys then.